Hey, I'm Richie with Raw Tactics. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for being here. Remember to like and subscribe below. If you like what you see, continue to support us as we put out great content for you. What we're going to be doing here today is what we call the Raw Tactics 4-dot drill. I'm going to bring out a student in just a minute, and what we're going to do is do the drill on the Raw Tactics target for these 4 1-inch circles that are on our target. Now, if you don't have our target, that's fine, but they will be available on targetsonline.com very shortly for you to purchase for yourself. However, you can draw little 1-inch circles, 1-inch squares, whatever you want, but about 1 inch is what we need there. And what we're going to do is we're going to work a magazine on each circle. Now, the first circle is just going to be draw and fire 1 shot from the 10-yard line as not slow, but efficiently in order to make your shot. There is no time frame, but we don't have all day. So it's going to be draw 1 shot into those circle, and then we are going to assess and then move on. And you're going to do that for about a magazine. Then we're going to move on to the other dots. This is going to be a different drill. The 3rd dot's going to be a different drill, and the 4th dot's going to be a different drill. And the goal of this is to show that even at 10 yards on a 1-inch circle, you can be very accurate on your target if you work these drills to the T. All right, so we have Lee here, one of the students here of Raw Tactics, and what he's going to do is he's going to demonstrate this drill. I'm going to walk him through it. On the first dot at the top on the buzzer, you're going to draw, fire 1 shot to that 1-inch circle, and then reevaluate, holster, and we'll move on. Any questions?
No.
All right, here we go. Stand by. Okay, good. Go and holster up. Let's do it again. Stand by. Okay. Stand by. Okay. Stand by. Good. And one more. Top circle. Stand by. All right, very good. All right, let's come down range. Let's take a look at them real quick. We're going to evaluate, and we're going to instruct Lee on what's going on here. So we're going for this top circle here. So we know for Lee, not to call him out, but we're going to see a drastic improvement as this drill increases. So we had 1st shot, 2nd shot, 3rd shot, 4th shot, 5th shot here. We got super low, and then we have left. Listen, for right-handed shooters, it's not rocket science. I'm going to give you the formula right now. If you're shooting low, it means that you're being impatient and you're trying to fight the recoil before it happens, and you're dipping the gun as you are manipulating that trigger. That's the only reason you go low. It takes a very special person, which I don't think you are, to be like, hey, shoot this circle, but you're aiming down here. I hope you guys aren't doing that. So it has to be that you are dipping the gun, disrupting that sight picture as you're manipulating the trigger. We don't want to do that. There are drills to do that, which we'll move on to later. Anything left is going to be that your support hand is not doing its job. Okay, my coach Scott Jedlinski in Modern Samurai has a saying that your support hand's being a, I can't say the B word because I'll get bleeped out on YouTube, okay? But your support hand needs to be doing its job, or it could be coupled with you not having enough trigger finger on the trigger and you are pushing the gun to the left. That's the only secret you need. Either you're dipping or your grip and your trigger manipulation is going to be bad to push it left. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tape these up. We're going to move on to the 2nd dot. And on the 2nd dot, what we're going to do is it's going to be firing 2 shots. On the buzzer, you're going to do the same thing. Draw, fire 1 shot to this 2nd dot. But then after you fire, you're immediately getting back to your wall, holding on that wall, and then firing as soon as you hear that 2nd beep. You're not firing after the beep or before the beep. As soon as you hear the beep, you're finishing that press to get an accurate shot on target. And we'll see if we have a little bit of improvement from the 1st dot to the 2nd dot. All right, moving on to that 2nd dot. Lee knows what he's doing. Let's see what's going on here. Any questions regarding what you have to do?
No.
Okay,
No.
1st shot, 1st beep, draw, fire, take your time, be efficient, immediately get back to the wall. On the 2nd beep, fire right away to the same 2nd circle. Okay, stand by. Good job. Okay, holster up. Okay, let's do it again. So that first time, we saw a little bit of fishing for the dot there. Okay, Remember, that gun comes up in that presentation. Remember, we could have a methodology on this since we're kind of be a little bit efficient on a 1-inch circle from 7 yards, 7 to 10 yards. You can have that 50 to 75 modality, excuse me, when you're coming up. So the gun comes up and we can assure that we pick up that dot, prep our trigger, and then finally finish our press from there. Okay, same thing. Stand by. It's okay. Wait for that second beep. Even if you fire before that beep, just reset, get back to that wall. Okay, still good shots though. Stand by. Good. Okay, one more time. Stand by. Very good. All right, holster up. All right, let's come take a look at it. Let's see the improvement, which is a drastic improvement here. Okay, not only from first shots, but on second shots only. So we have hitting the circle, if not damn close to it, which is very good for the distance on such a small target. Now the question is, why is there such a drastic difference between our first circle up here that we were missing drastically and the second circle? We're doing the same thing, but we're adding a second shot. And the reason is that he is forcing himself to prep the trigger properly. After his first shot, he is fully prepping that trigger. And so when that beep stimulus goes for the second shot, there's so little room to travel that he's not disrupting that sight picture at all, and he is hitting accurate shots there. It's almost like you're turning off the noise in your brain that's saying, hey, let's go and screw this up. All right, you ready? All right, bam, and we end up dropping our shots there. Okay, so huge improvement there, great job. Now we're gonna move on to the third circle, which is gonna be a prep press drill. He's going to draw his gun, he's gonna be aimed at the target. Finger's gonna be floating in the trigger guard. I'll give him 2 commands. First is gonna be prep. He's gonna prep to his wall and hold it. The second command is going to be press. That is when he fires a shot into the circle here. Then he floats back in the trigger guard, gun stays out, prep, press. Float, prep, press, and we'll do that for a few rounds and see how we do. All right, on target, finger floating in the trigger guard. On the command of prep, you'll prep to your wall. On the command of press, you finish that press in order for the shot to go. Prep, press, good. Prep, press, good. You want to reload? Prep, press, good. Prep, press, good. Prep, press, good. Prep, press, good. Prep, press, good job. Prep, press. All right, good, go and holster up. So you notice there that he is firing on the command of press. He's not firing after the command of press. As soon as he hears the P of the word press, he is finishing that press of the trigger, giving a shot. Let's go take a look at the accuracy here. Really, really good. We have one that's just a tad low, nothing too major, at least we're concerned from the first one. But what we're doing here is that we have a good grouping here. We have 1 bullseye, 1 on the line, 2 on the line, 3 on the line, couple groupings here. But remember, when I'm doing this drill, when you're doing it, don't beat yourself up too much. It's a 1-inch circle, okay, from 7 to 10 yards. Okay, let's just follow the rule of thumb. What's my rule of thumb? The rule of thumb is, can I cover a majority of my shots with my thumb? Yeah, if I did and it's near the target, if on the target, then you did an excellent job. So here, really, really good. We diagnosed this, okay? So I asked him like, hey, do you know what shot number that was out of the, 8 or 9 shots we did? If they know exactly what it was and what they did wrong, then great. It means that they're paying attention to their shots. If they don't know where that shot came from, we need to instruct them on, hey, we need to know where every shot's going to be after the shot goes, even if we don't see it on target. How do we know that? It's where the dot or your front sight finishes when you fire, not where it starts. Okay, we're gonna move on to the final dot here. The final dot of this drill is just gonna be a press drill. It is gonna be his job to prep the trigger in between each press command. Now these press commands are gonna come at different intervals. Maybe press, 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 press. He doesn't know when the press command is going to come, but it's his job to prep in between. As soon as he fires, he's off the trigger, immediately back to that wall, waiting for that next press command, shooting at this 1-inch circle. All right, gun out on target. You can be prepped on the trigger right now. You're firing on every press command. Press, press, press. Got to get back to that wall quicker. Fire on the command of press. Press, 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 press. A little late there, go and reload. Get back on the wall. Press, press, press. Okay, good, go and holster up. Very good. Not bad, let's come take a look at it. Okay, so 1 low, which is fine. Okay, we're training, we're learning, we're trying to get everything good. But rule of thumb, can I take my thumb and cover up a majority of the shots within there, shooting at different times? Yes, we can. It means that he is fully prepped to that wall on this contained target. Okay, between our blitz and contained targets, which means level of difficulty, 7 yards, 1-inch circle, you should be having a full prep of the trigger before you fire. Really, really good there. He's shooting at different times. He doesn't know when that shot's going to come off, or that command's going to come off, I should say, of the press command. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster, but nonetheless, we see a drastic increase between the first drill of just shooting, and then now we're shooting fairly quick on a 1-inch circle and being pretty accurate. I hope you like this drill. It's called the 4-dot drill by Raw Tactics. Give it a try. Let us know how you do. Like, subscribe, comment, stay engaged. We'll see you soon.